I'm Lowe, the police chief in Redmond, Washington. We've been a client of Force Metrics for approximately 2 years now. It pulls all of our data into one central location. So an officer, when they respond to a location, they will get information about any previous calls for service that we had, a summary of those previous interactions, and most importantly, the labels or flags that we're able to ascribe to a particular location that gives that officer a heads up about something that they may otherwise not know. Probably a couple of benefits that come to mind is we have individuals that are hard of hearing or that are on the spectrum. By having that flag, the officer knows how to better interact with those community members, and equally as important, it helps them understand if things don't go as they would normally expect them to. Because a person is hard of hearing or because the person is on the spectrum, they may react or not react in a manner in which the officer would expect, and thus I would consider it a potentially a de-escalation tool. So the officer does not misperceive that as a threat of some sort because they know what they're walking into. In this case, Force Metrics provides additional information, and information is key. When we had the flag of a particular household where an individual was hard of hearing, the officer understood that going in, so they knew to knock a little bit harder and also to speak a little louder, and so it just made for a more positive interaction. When a person feels seen or heard or understood, that definitely builds public trust and community trust. From the investigative side, for our crime analysts who are embedded within our investigative unit, it's the same thing. When they run a name or run a location, before you would get a whole list of potential returns or information. They would have to individually go in to each one of those. Now with Force Metrics, it's hyperlinked. So when they go to it, it takes them right there. So it minimizes clicks, if you will. And then also the summary that it provides. It can give them a high level overview of it, so they're not scanning through 9 or 10 pages of a report. It's highlighted for them. It saves time for them, and I said saves clicks, right? It's less click throughs, it's less going to another system. It automatically hyperlinks on the back end. The technical support from Force Metrics has been phenomenal. The engineers, the back end support, anytime there's a question or anything that we've needed, it's been very responsive. They figured it out in check-in calls, or if you want to call it customer success calls. There's been times where we've brought up something or asked a question, and in real time, somebody on the back end is either fixed it or provided a solution, or we have an answer as to how quickly that particular situation can be addressed. The customer support has been top notch, and as a customer, that is a big thing, right? There's a number of products and softwares and solutions, and I'll say they all work to whatever degree, but in what sets Force Metrics apart or puts them up there with some of the top companies out there is the customer support, is the responsiveness of the team. And I can tell you, as a chief, that is, I won't say it's more important than if the product works or not, but it's right there hand in hand, because if you need help, we're in the problem solving business. So I expect the same thing of that from my vendors. I expect that if I or my staff have a problem, that vendor solves the problem, and Force Metrics has met the mark. It's comprehensive. So for me, I have, if you want to call it a tech map, in my head of where I want to see the organization. And a key component is I look at things that add value and that I'll say can be built upon. And Force Metrics fits that key. And because it's in our closed system, it operates. And I describe it as a Google overlay for my CAD and RMS system is the best non-technical way to describe it. I know that's not technically what it is, but for the layperson, everybody knows Google as a search engine, but then also to alleviate the concerns about information and data. So Force Metrics overlays over your CAD and RMS, so the only information that is pulling back is from information that we already have. So that carries over to other platforms, and that's why it's so helpful. And then again, because it hyperlinks to other things, it saves time. And then the quick summation of the previous call or the previous report again, so you know which one is relevant. And say if you have a high utilizer of services and you've been there 14 times, an officer's not going to search through 14 reports, but if they look through it and they see it hyperlinked, oh, and it was, report number 6 that, has relevant information to this current call. Again, it's one click to the thing that's most relevant that can provide them the information that they need in real time for that particular call. That is the value of force metrics. I love you, Andre. And you too, Shane. I love you too.